What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mod Squad Network. Layeth the squad down. I am your host, Kevin. Joining me as always is Steve.
What's going on, everybody? How we doing?
Doing good over here. I know that. We had a good week of wrestling, sort of. We will have a full WrestleMania recap drop probably tomorrow. Um, but before that, Steve, you were at Ring of Honor.
Oh, I was at Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor on Friday. Oh boy, was that quite a show. We had our dark matches to start it all off, which I'll go through really fast. Jeff Cobb defeated Tracy Williams. Konosuke Takeshita took on Willie Mack and beat him. Willow Nightingale defeated Miranda Elise, and Stu Grayson defeated Slim J. Those were all the openers of that. Pardon. We got into Super Card of Honor, which was just amazing, spectacular. Such a great live show. We opened with El Hijo del Vikingo versus Commander for the AAA Mega Championship. And that show did not disappoint. High spots galore. Hijo picking up the win on that one. We then had our 6-man tag of the Embassy of Brian Cage, Khan, and Toa Leona taking on AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. Another great back and forth. The Embassy definitely showing its power, and AR Fox, Christian, and Metalik showing their I can't even think of the word, their flexibility in the ring, with the Embassy retaining their 6-man tag championships. Athena took on Yuka Sakazaki, and I'm not going to lie, that was the match I went and got my drink on and came back right as Athena was winning and retaining her championship.
As you do.
Huh?
As you do.
As you do. As
Good
you do.
girl.
That is
Good
correct.
girl.
Oh, no, not her. As you do, go get your drink. Man, the next couple matches, we have 4 matches left, and these matches were high impact, high velocity, just bringing the best out of the crowd the entire time. You have the ROH World Television Championship match of Mark Briscoe taking on Samoa Joe, and Briscoe brought his goddamn best. And in the end, Samoa Joe ended up defeating him via submission after he basically... I don't like what they're doing nowadays. They're doing more of a UFC, whereas the hand goes down. They then call for the bell instead of giving the 1, the 2, and giving the chance for the big comeback, or just the outright call. Hiroshi Tanahashi took on Daniel Garcia. Oh my God, to see Tanahashi live, I watch him all the time on New Japan Pro. To see Tanahashi live is amazing. He beats Daniel Garcia via pinfall. It's spectacular. Now, at this point in the show, you have three championship matches left. And I look at my buddy and I go, well, what we have left is we have the ROH Pure Championship. We have the ladder match for the tag team championships, because they have to crown new tag champs. And then you have the main event of the heavyweight. They go with the ladder match next, in which you get, oh my God, it starts with I'm looking, Aussie Open of Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher. You get La Faccione Ingobernables of Roosh and Drilistico. You have the Kingdom of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, Top Flight, Dante Martin, Darius Martin, the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon, and Ray Phoenix, all of them going at it in a ladder match. While you out there, you also have Maria Bennett, you have Jose the assistant, you have Alex.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, and they set up a lot of stuff. You had ladders, you had 6 tables stacked up on top of each other. You had a Canadian destroyer in which Darius Martin destroyed his ankle. This dude is out for a while, but if anyone's going to come back, it's going to be Dante Martin. The Martin brothers, of course, Top Flight, Darius Martin, prone to injury over the last year or so.
Yeah.
This is the first real big injury for Darius. I'm sure that he will come back with flying colors. These kids are in their 20s. Their bodies are healing faster than they know what to do with. And with that, we have Zero Miedo. You have the Lucha Brothers walking away as your Ring of Honor tag team champions. Oh my
Oh,
God,
nice.
good. FTR, well, Mark Briscoe comes out, gives them love. FTR comes out, gives them love. Such a great, touching moment. Lots of stuff I'm sure they didn't show on camera. We have our Ring of Honor Pure Championship, in which Wheeler Yuta, the champion, on Ring of Honor TV, which I'm not watching because you have to pay to, and I already pay for enough services. Says that I have to be the best Ring of Honor Pure champion, and the only way that I could do that is by facing Katsuyori Shibata. And he is a New Japan wrestler as well, and he is simply known as the Wrestler because you take everything that there is in professional wrestling. You take technique, you take flair, you take style, you take everything, and this is him. And your Ring of Honor Pure Championship match, there are a lot of rules. You're allowed 3 rope breaks. After you use your 3 rope breaks are no longer allowed. Does
Oh,
it?
wow.
Yeah. No close fists to the face. You get a close fist to the face, you're going to get a warning. Anything after that is a disqualification, and you lose the belt, I believe. Lots of rules in a Pure Championship. And when it's all said and done, Shibata walks out as your new Ring of Honor champion, like Pure champion, which is just amazing. We then get into our main event of Claudio Castagnoli taking on Eddie Kingston for the ROH World Championship. Eddie Kingston has been working this gimmick for a while with a concussion, and it really played into this match. I was really hoping for a really solid back and forth, and they really did come through on some things, but it really seemed like Eddie was fatigued like halfway through. And some of the bigger things that they wanted to go for, it looks like he didn't have the energy or the drive to really get up for it. Did he still give his all? Yeah, he did. This was a great back and forth. When it was all said and done, of course, Claudio Castagnoli picks up the win. Wheeler Yuta comes on out. They try and team up on Eddie, but we get Shibata coming back out, driving them away, and Kingston closes the show, thanking everybody and giving credit where credit's due. And that's your Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor for 2023, and it was chef's kiss.
Love it.
It couldn't have been a better show. Like it was everything I wanted.
Well, that's awesome, especially since we don't really cover Ring of Honor very much on this show. It's awesome that you went to that and was able to give a update on the Super Show.
Sure. In other news on that day, I did meet Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. What happened on Monday Night Raw, Kevin?
Listen, this is the road to WrestleMania, the final stretch. So there was not much that actually happened because on these go home shows. So Raw opened with The Miz TV, and it had Bailey, not Bailey. It had Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish. And then Damage Control comes out. It ends up being a little weird segment. The match that followed was a paper. The match that followed was okay, I guess. It was. I'm having a hard time remembering what happened. It ended up being Becky Lynch versus Io Sky, which was a really good match, by the way. But the segment before that was just a lot of bickering, and they just ended up being a Io Sky Becky Lynch match, which ended up being good. Probably the best match on Raw. Then we had Mustafa Ali versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins picking up the win, as you should. I'm just going to go through these real fast because nothing really happened. Omos and Brock Lesnar weigh in for weigh-in that didn't really get a full weigh-in because Brock Lesnar attacked Omos.
Sure, because he's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Then we had the 8-man tag match to where the Street Profits, Braun Strowman, and Ricochet win. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, going up against the Viking Warriors and whoever the fourth team was.
Yeah, I don't even remember the fourth
in
team.
the 14 thing they had last night.
Yeah. Oh, Shoosh.
Oh,
Yeah,
shush! Alpha
yeah,
Academy.
yeah. Alpha Academy.
Shush, please.
Then we get Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Mia Yim and Candice LeRae. They win this and they are into the
The match that
the
I
match.
unfortunately
Yeah.
have to watch tonight live.
Yes, and Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green win, which I think is a shame because I think Mia Yim and Candice LeRae should have been in there, but
Yeah, hell yeah. Put them in Mania. Fuck
yeah.
Chelsea Green.
Then we have Damian Priest versus Rey Mysterio with Rey Mysterio winning by disqualification. But let's see, Dominic Mysterio came out as well, and is this the one where
I think
no
this
no
might
no
be no, I think this might be what leads up. It was either that or the week before on SmackDown. I forget. One of the
yeah.
two is what led up to the
Oh, it was last
whole.
week on SmackDown. It was last week on SmackDown. I don't
Sure,
remember.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Then we have Gunther versus Dolph Ziggler. You know Dolph ain't winning this one. Gunther wins in a boring match.
I bet. It
Cody
should
Rhodes.
it should be a good match, but Gunther just made it a squash, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was. Then we have Cody Rhodes versus Solo. Cody Rhodes getting the win. That closes out Raw, giving Solo his first loss right before Mania, which
Which
I'm not.
doesn't matter. Which doesn't matter because Solo doesn't even have a match on Mania.
It don't matter, but the Solo has a match on Mania. Solo should not be losing. If they are going to continue the bloodline, Solo should not be losing.
Which I don't think they're. Which unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be.
Yeah, without giving any spoilers, I don't think that they are either.
Which
But
bums me out because I love the blood. I love the bloodline. Like I am praying with all my hope and all my might that Cody loses tonight. Like I really want Cody to
see,
lose
I'm the
so
opposite.
bad.
I want Cody to win.
I
I want
don't.
Cody.
I want Roman to keep going. I want Roman to be champ forever. I want him to beat Bruno.
There's a couple wrestlers that do not have a spot on the WrestleMania card right now that I'm kind of sad of. Bobby Lashley being one of them. I'm surprised he don't have a spot.
I thought he's having like an open challenge tonight.
If so, if that got announced and I missed it, then
Well, they had. I want to say they had. Well, they had. Not to give anything away, but like Miz versus his opponent, that was an unannounced match. So I
that
could
is true.
100% see them doing tonight just some random.
As far as announced matches, Bobby Lashley don't have one.
Yeah, Karrion Kross doesn't have one. He's a talented wrestler. He should be on Mania.
And the one wrestler that should, L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Let
should
me
have a
talk
match.
to you.
He
Yeah.
should have a match.
Let me tell you, folks, my name is L.A. Knight. Yeah. I should be at WrestleMania. I should have won the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Yeah.
I mean, it's in L.A. His name is L.A. Knight.
L.A. Knight. That's right. Hey, you never
And
know.
it's happening
Maybe
at
Bobby
night.
is going to do his open challenge tonight, and the
And-
person that answers that challenge,
LA.
L.A. Knight. Yeah.
I bet that would get a huge pop. Actually, that would be a huge pop.
I'd pop for that.
Yeah.
I've refereed for LA Knight. I refereed for him when I might have mentioned this on the show before, but him and Brian Cage were a tag team at one point
Oh, I think you have. Yeah.
called Natural Selection.
Yeah. All right, SmackDown. The Usoff kick off SmackDown. They head to the ring and
Funny
KO.
enough, I did watch SmackDown this week.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I did.
They head to the ring, and then KO and Sammy come out, and they get everything off their chest. They said that they are not going to enter the ring tomorrow night, which would have been Saturday night, without saying what needs to be said. And, they just got a bunch of things off of their chest saying, you still have a choice not to follow Roman, blah, 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 all that stuff. That's how that ended up. Then we have a fatal four-way, Montez Ford versus Ricochet versus Chad Gable versus Eric, with Ricochet defeating Gable, Eric, and Ford. Yep. I kind of like this. Ricochet, I think
it was a good match. It was a good match. It was a good back and forth.
It really was. It really was. And I believe that they're building Ricochet up again a little bit.
You can build Ricochet up, but
He's never going to be a world champion.
he should be. That's the thing, is he has the quality and the caliber to actually be a world champion. But when you have someone as big as Roman, and that's the thing, is you're having Cody beat Roman.
Yeah.
When there are guys that are big, let's keep talking about SmackDown.
Okay. Next, we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I cannot speak this morning. I
Memorial,
apologize. Yes.
the
The
Andre
Andre the Giant Memorial
Memorial
Battle
Battle
Royal.
Royal.
Yes. Yes. It had a ton of people. I'm not going to go through the names. It basically had everybody who don't have a match on Mania.
I'm very upset with who won that.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, it should have been Bronson Reed.
It should have. I agree with you. It definitely should have been Bronson Reed.
It should have been Bronson Reed.
It definitely should have been Bronson Reed. Or someone who I think could have won that I thought would have been funny.
Yeah.
I think
Truth.
no.
Oh.
Was he out? I don't think he was even in the match.
No, but you just have him run out at the end and just throw the guy over him. It would have been hilarious.
No, what's his face? Oh God, I'm blanking on the name right now. The dude with Johnny Gargano, the real stoic.
Oh, you're talking about Dexter Lumis?
Dexter Lumis, yes. Could not, his name was escaping me, but yeah, I think he would have been an awesome Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner. Yes. Next, we have a fatal four-way match: Raquel Rodriguez versus Sonya Deville versus Shayna Baszler versus Natalya. I don't remember this match whatsoever. Rodriguez defeats Natalya and all of the others. Rodriguez wins.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't remember this match either.
I don't remember it. But then we have Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci.
Oh, and they could just get crushed.
They get destroyed. McIntyre and Sheamus get the win. Oddly enough, I think McIntyre's contract is coming up, and they are far from what I read. They're not even close to coming up with
a figure he wants.
Yeah. So McIntyre may be a free agent.
I really hope if he becomes a free agent, I hope all the best for him. I hope he does not go to AEW.
He will not be used in AEW. I guarantee you. Yeah, he would serve better off going to Ring of Honor or being Ring of Honor.
I wouldn't even want him in Ring of Honor.
Or possibly Impact.
Send him to Impact. Send him to New Japan. Yeah. I would not want to see him in AEW or Ring of Honor.
Next, we have the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns face-to-face, where
Roman says one thing. Oh my God,
Roman,
acknowledge me,
and
that's the show, folks.
Yeah. Of course, you did get a rendition of Cody singing "California Love" by Tupac in that segment, but. Nevertheless,
I'm not even gonna lie. I was doing something, and I basically like the show was going, but my mind was elsewhere.
Listen, Raw and SmackDown was a total drag this week. I'm not gonna lie. The best match on the show, on both of those shows, was the Io Sky versus Becky Lynch match. Everything else was almost I won't say garbage, but it was a step above garbage. So. There you go.
So it's my life. So we have Wednesday Night Dynamite just going right into AEW. We open up Wednesday Night Dynamite with Jungle Boy taking on Matt Hardy. It's all set up for next week. We're getting Ethan Page versus Hook. And they did some weird thing where Matt's like, oh, Matt Hardy is underneath the firm right now. And they're building some storyline to where Matt's like, oh, I went over everything with the contract and everything is great. You just have to sign it. Hook already signed it. And while he's signing it, Ethan Page is signing on his back, and Matt Hardy just looks at the camera with like this big smirk. So there's got to be some clause in there that when Ethan Page loses, him and Isaiah Cassidy are no longer under the control of the firm or some shit. I don't know. I was very excited for the next match. Dalton Castle came out with the boys. I love Dalton Castle. And they just got ambushed by the Blackpool Combat Club. And just destroyed. In what I thought was going to be the main event of of Dynamite, we get Jeff Cobb versus Kenny Omega.
It was a good match, not as good as Omega Vikingo.
No, not as good as Omega Vikingo, because Vikingo's just on another level.
Yeah.
Like, Cobb is just amazing to begin with. And then after the match is over, the Blackpool Combat Club, they come on out to once again start beating down Omega. We get the return of Bryan Danielson, which I was excited for regardless of what happens. Still excited. Everyone thinks he's chasing off the Blackpool Combat Club. He attacks Kenny Omega. He's, of course, with the Blackpool Combat Club. He was one of the original founding members. Of course, he's going to stay with the group. We're going to hear from them this upcoming Wednesday on Dynamite. Butch, the Butcher, took on Orange Cassidy for the intercontinental, or the, I don't even know what they're calling it now. For the international championship. It's fucking stupid. It really is, the things they do with this. He got hit with a goddamn crowbar in his back, and then got like, get out of here, and then he can hit the base of the Bay City break or whatever the F it is. Orange Cassidy picks up the win. I'm getting really tired of him being the international champion.
I'm getting tired of the unbelievability of some of these. You're right. You get hit with a crowbar. I don't care who you are. You're going down.
You get hit with a Golden Globe award. You get hit with a award that's supposed to be made out of technically solid gold.
You should not be kicking out.
He should have lost the belt to Jeff Jarrett. Is what it should have happened. Don't get me wrong. I like Orange Cassidy. It's a funny gimmick.
I do too, yeah.
You lose the shtick after a while, especially when this person is a champion.
Yeah.
I won't go on the full tirade, but it's just like, get someone that's going to respect the belt. Get someone that's going to have the belt and wear it out, not put it in a backpack and treat it like a goddamn joke.
Yeah. Agreed.
We have Willow Nightingale taking on Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho picks up the win. And in our main event of Wednesday Night Dynamite, Adam Cole came back for his first match after how many months to take on Daniel Garcia of the Jericho Appreciation Society. I think I see where they're going to go with this whole feud. Adam Cole picks up the win. Garcia's in the ring. Jericho comes on down, picks up Garcia to help him on out. Never once looks at Cole, only twice slightly looking over his shoulder. I really don't care if it's Jericho versus Cole, because I'm tired of Jericho, and I would much rather see Adam Cole face someone who's in their prime. And that was the end of Wednesday Night Dynamite. 4 quick matches for Friday night. Friday night Rampage. We opened with Sammy Guevara taking on Konosuke Takeshita. Great back and forth. 2 solid workers. Sammy picks up the win. Malachi Black and Brody King take on Best Friends. That ends in a disqualification. Marina Shafir takes on Taya Valkyrie. Taya wins using Flight of the Valhalla or whatever. Flight of the Valkyries. Into which Jade is suing her for it, and they send someone to serve her papers, and then she does the same move to the person serving her the papers. And in the main event, you have Action Andretti taking on Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Coming up this Wednesday night on Dynamite, we have Hard Rock Juice Robinson taking on Ricky Starks. So this was leading up to it. Juice was calling Action Andretti Ricky the entire time. It was Action gave a great fight, but in the end, Juice Robinson ends up picking up the win, leading all up to this Wednesday night on Dynamite, in which they also said Tony Khan is going to have a major announcement. And that's AEW.
Well, that is your week in wrestling, everybody. Like I said, we will have a full WrestleMania recap dropping probably tomorrow. Other than that, guys, what was your match of the week?
Oh man, if I had to pick a match of the week, it's going to be it's El Hijo de Vikingo versus Commander at Ring of Honor Supercard. That is my match of the week.
I'm going through my head now, and I
It's
can't.
Becky Io.
It is Becky Io. It's Becky Io.
Only because you weren't at Ring of Honor and you didn't see
That's
Becky.
right. I wasn't
That's
at Ring of
right.
Honor. It's Becky Io, and that's the only match I can remember. So that is the winner of my match of the week. All right, guys, that does it for this episode of Layeth the Squad Down. Steve, where can people
Yo.
find you on your podcast,
Oh,
sir?
that's the last podcast you'd want. It's available on every major podcasting outlet. Also available here on the YouTubes. Go ahead, give us a check, give us a listen. Lots of 3 years of me doing a hour plus long interview format of people you know from movies, TV, stuff like that. Professional wrestling. Ever want to hear what Paul London thinks about the movie Willow? Go ahead and listen to that. You can hear Marty the Mod, you can hear Ricardo Rodriguez, you can hear TJP, among independent wrestlers as well. You probably know this because you already watched the show. Tip the veal, try the staff. Thank you all for coming, and if you didn't, better luck next time.
All right, you can find this podcast on most major podcasting platforms. Also, check out Back to the Retro Review, where we review movies from the 80s and 90s. You will find myself, this guy right here, and another Mikey the Freak. Yes, that's right.
That's that way. I still, after a year, I still can't get used to the mirror.
Also, check out the Horror Show, the Gamer Show that just got released, and Movie Talk Mondays. Also, we go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. All right, guys, I do believe that does it for this episode of Layeth the Squad Down. Do all the YouTuber things. Give us a liking, all that stuff. So for Steve, I am Kevin saying, keep on wrestling, everybody.